All right, here we go. Perfect. So, yes, welcome, welcome. So, really great program today on executive presence. So, if this is your first time joining me for this LinkedIn Live, I am Marissa Krupa. I'm an integrative leadership coach, and we'll be focusing on executive presence and really the source of where that comes from, which is balancing energies inside of us. The land acknowledgement is that I am broadcasting from the traditional tribal lands of the Kootenai and Blackfeet people here in central Montana. So let's get started with all this. And what we're going to do today is something called Kriyas. Now, Kriyas are weird. I'm not going to lie. And so a Kriya is a movement, sometimes a hand gesture, and a sound that is combined in kind of a short burst of activity in order to create a certain aim or goal. So in ancient times, kriyas were created for things like regulating certain areas of the body, like glands and things like that. And so I'll be telling you the story of Durga. It's a really great story. I deepened this learning of this story over the weekend at the Anaconda Yoga Festival. And when I heard it this time, because I've heard it before, I was like, oh, actually, this could be very appropriate for women professionals, women in the workplace. So I wanted to share this with you and share these kriyas with you. If you feel weird, if you feel silly, if it feels awkward, that's all great. That's actually not the purpose of the kriya, but it's a pretty common feeling for kriyas. People in ancient times didn't really have the same sense of like what's cool and what's not cool like we have in our modern times today. So I'd like to just invite you to give these a try, even if they feel weird, and just see how you feel afterwards. See if these two concepts of the mother and the badass or the warrior can kind of manifest or actualize energetically within you and come into a place of harmony within you, because that is really where the source of executive presence comes from for us women. All right. So let's, with all of that, let's start with our 1 to 10 scale. So on a scale of 1 to 10, before we start, 1 being like you're almost dead, 10 being the most incredible day of your life, pick a number that feels right for you in this moment of now. And then you can jot it down if you like. Don't think about it too hard, but what is your number for this moment? All right, fantastic. So now I'm going to start with the story. And that is, we'll be doing the corresponding kriyas as we go through the story. So the story starts like this. This is the story of Durga. She's the divine feminine, as she has come from being, in the mist in the universe and then come into human form. And so long ago, 2 brothers did penance and they received a boon from the gods, like a reward. And that reward was no man or demon could kill them. Well, they totally left out women, right? And boy, doesn't that sound familiar? I mean, how many times have you been underestimated in your role, right, in the workplace? So that's why I thought this is a great story. So then, as in the case with many men, their egos and their arrogance grew, and they ended up taking over the world. And people prayed to the gods to help them, but the gods were hamstrung because they were all male gods. And they had this boon of invincibility where no god or man could kill them. So the gods turned to Durga, the divine feminine, for help. But she preferred not to take human form. So she prepared to send a version of herself into the world to help. And that version is called Kaushiki. And so in order to do this, she had to prepare herself. So here's the first of the kriyas that we're going to do today. So we'll be doing it's hard to say this, Kapalabhati breath, which is the breath of fire. And what that looks like, I'm going to kind of show you in my belly here. So you press your diaphragm in on the out breath. So if you take a breath in, Press it out real fast. See how I'm kind of, you can see the movement of the diaphragm pushing in. So in order to do this, we kind of go a little fast, and the in-breath is pretty rapid because you're just taking in as little in-breath as you can before you're just pressing. And we start to press into our diaphragm like boom, 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 and we just go. All right, so that's how we do it. So take your arms up now, up into the sky, and then close your fingers onto your palms like so. And we'll start to, on the next out breath, press our diaphragm in fast and sharp to expel the breath quickly. And we're going to do this for about 30 seconds. So here we go. Keep going. This is Durga preparing to come into the world. You might feel heat in your body. Keep going. Even if your arms are tired, keep going. And deep breath in and release. Take your arms down. Awesome. Pause here and just notice what you feel. So after Durga created this fire, this energy, as she was preparing to come into human form, she also needed to take more energy in to have the energy to do this. So now we'll do the same thing. Our arms are going to be up kind of in a jazz hand. And as we come down, we pull the energy in and make the sound of ch. So inhale. Ch. 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 Now go a little faster. Ch. 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 Faster still. Keep going. Don't give up. Are you really tired? Or is that just your mind? Beautiful. Just pause and breathe. Notice the energy in your body. Nope, that's the wrong one. Shoot. Oh, wait, I've got more slides here. Nope, that was not it. Oh, wait, here we go. Hey, now we're here. Okay. So what came out of Durga was Kaliki. And you can see she's riding, in this picture, she's riding a lion. And often she's depicted riding a tiger. And so she began to protect the people from these two brothers. And she was very sensuous and very beautiful, like buxom and curvy. And one of the emissaries of the two brothers saw her and was like instantly in love and knew that the brothers would want to control her for her beauty and her sensuality. So Kaliki told the emissary, well, I will only marry somebody who can defeat me in battle. So the brothers started to send other people to fight on their behalf. And Kaliki, as you can see, she's got weapons in all of her arms. So she was able to defeat everyone. So then the brothers got mad and they started to send giant waves of armed soldiers, just like army after army would come at Kaliki. Well, then Kaliki got mad. So remember, she's the human form of Durga, the divine feminine. And so Durga realized that she was going to need a fiercer warrior goddess to really tackle all these armies. And so out came Kali, which is, many of you know, is like the goddess of destruction. And so how we do a Kriya for Kali, because if you've ever given birth to a child, for those of you who have, you know it's kind of like an earth-shattering experience. Like your whole world changes. Just the physical process of giving birth, as you know, wondering, am I going to make it? Like, are my insides going to tear open? Like, there's tremendous pain, and yet out comes this beautiful new being. I mean, it's this really transformational process. So how we represent Kali in the Kriyas. So I'm going to adjust myself here a little bit. Let's see if we can get it going here. So you can do this on a stool. That's what I'm going to be using. Or you can do this standing up. It's totally your choice. Okay. But she comes out, Kali comes out, and she's like, her feet are forward, her arms are forward, her hands are like ready to tear people apart. And what we do is we use the lion's face pose. You can see it in the image. So she's sticking out her tongue, but also like become fierce with it. Become like ugly and fierce when you do this. And the tongue sticking out is on a ha, and it's like the breath is coming from deep inside and it's hot. Okay, so what we do is we just take a deep breath in, take one leg up, and then we reach our arms out and do the lion's face pose. Other leg up. Get ugly with it. Growl if you need to. Ah, 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 ah. Kali is coming out. Ah, she's ready to destroy the evil. Ah, she's coming out to do battle. Ah, to save the innocents. Ah, to bring justice to the world. Ah, ah, to protect the children. Ah, 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 ah. Deep breath in and out. Pause here. What was that like for you to feel that energy of the warrior goddess? To really feel it, to be angry about the injustices that are happening in our world right now, injustices that we may have felt, but to let ourselves feel it. Because if we don't feel it, then it gets locked inside and it starts to cause us harm, right? We start to internalize it, turn against ourselves, stay invisible. This is what the story of Kali can teach us. So to continue on with the story, Kali comes out and defeats all of the armies. And as she's now facing the two brothers, just the two of them, the brothers cry foul and they say, hey, this isn't fair. Like, Durga, you need to face us on your own. You can't just send all your like warrior goddesses to defeat us. You know, that's not okay. That's like cheating or whatever. So we demand that you, Durga, come and fight us directly. So she does that. This is a picture of Durga. And as you can see, she has a lot of different weapons in her arms. And so how Durga is represented in a Kriya, and you can do this standing or seated. I'm going to do it standing because I like to kind of get the full experience. So if we're standing like this, you can just have your feet kind of hip distance apart. And so imagine you've got a bunch of arms coming out of your torso. I know it's kind of weird. But Durga had a weapon in every single arm. And so when she entered into battle with the two brothers, it was like she was doing a dance. So this is kind of what we're doing here now. So how this works is we breathe in with our hands. Imagine you've got swords in your hands. Breathe in, our hands come out like this with the swords extended. Breathe in again, a second time, arms at the T. Breathe in a third time, arms are up. And then we take these weapons and we release the breath with a ch sound and slash the swords down. Okay, so it's like a type of dance. So here we go. In, out. In, out. Let's go a little faster. In, 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 in. A little faster. Keep going. It's like a ballet of destruction. Keep going. Dancing on the battlefield. Dancing for justice. Dancing to make the world right. Keep going. Last one. Whew. Pause right here, just stand. Pause in your seat. And invite in the Durga energy. What does it mean to destroy evil for good? What does it mean to act with fierceness to make good things happen? By this time, the two brothers had become demons, and Durga knew that if she didn't kill them, the world would never be restored. So the first brother is killed. The second brother is lying at the feet of Durga, begging for his life. And she changes from this warrior goddess to a goddess of compassion. He asks Durga, can my soul energy be transformed into nature, and instead of you killing me? And she pauses and she says, okay. And that's what happens to the second brother. So he dissolves and becomes the force of nature. And so how we blend these two energies into a Kriya, I'm going a little over time this time. I just realized I looked at the time, is we did this actually a few sessions ago. So it's called the cow, in Tai Chi, it's kind of called the cow pose. So I'll adjust it here. So our legs are wide, toes are out. Bend as comfortably as feels good to you. Hands are on your thighs. So the cow, you can imagine, is like a type of loving mother, right? If you've ever seen cattle like I do all the time out here, mama cows are very fierce when it comes to protecting their calves, but they're also very gentle and docile, right? And very compassionate. And then of course you've got the lion's face pose, which is really about, the fierceness of the lion. So how do we bring these two back into balance? So when we take a breath in, we're going to go from one side to the other and look over our shoulder. When we look over the shoulder, that's where we do the lion's face pose. And then we breathe in, look over the shoulder. So now we're harmonizing these two energies. In. Lion's face doesn't feel so fierce this time, does it? Because we got it all out. Easy, gentle. One more each side. Step your feet together, stand and breathe. If you need to transition to come back to your seat, do so now. And just invite in these two energies, the mother and the warrior. How will that show up in your life? And so our journal prompt today, let's see if I can make it. There we go. Let's really own everything that we feel, right? So what is something that you're angry about right now? And what is one thing that you can do within your control about that anger? And conversely, what is one area where you're lacking in compassion right now? What's one thing within your control that you can do about it? Durga was the divine feminine. She had a lot of control. We don't always have that. But when we don't access the fierceness, the anger, the frustration, the desire to destroy so that something new can be created, when we don't allow ourselves as women to tap into that, that energy starts to turn against us. It's what creates belief systems that will hold us back. It creates belief systems that will keep us invisible and prevent us from achieving the goals we want to achieve. Sometimes it turns into self-loathing or self-hatred. So sometimes we need to start with the compassion for ourselves, bringing that compassion to how much we've stuffed this warrior goddess down. And now starting to, in a safe and controlled way, allow her to come up and see, what is her voice? What does she want to say? What does she want to do in our lives? All right, thanks for hanging out with me a little longer than usual. And let's now pause and just focus on our breath for a few moments, and then we'll do our 1 to 10 scale. If you'd like to, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze in front of you. Noticing the qualities of your breath, noticing any energies in your body. If you have any thoughts, that's okay, just let them go. On your next out breath, flutter the eyes open and come back into our space. What is your number right now from 1 to 10? 1 being totally miserable and 10 being fabulous. What is your number in this moment? And has it improved from when you started the session? Hopefully it has. I know that when I do these Kriyas, I feel so energized, but especially when I do the last one, the cow and the lion together, I feel this sense of balance and homeostasis that's really like no other. So now you've got this as a recording. You can continue to watch it, take notes on the Kriyas, and you can do all these Kriyas and even just look at a picture of Durga or whatever and do them within minutes. You know, maybe this is the thing that you start your day with for a couple weeks and just see how that impacts you, right? See what kind of new learning and new understanding of yourself and how you are in the world starts to come to the forefront of your mind by doing this repetitively. I really encourage you to give it a try. All right, so let's stop this guy. And then my announcement is that if you'd like to deepen this, I am offering a small group coaching, and I'm going to put that in the chat right now. It's going to start um, October 16th, and it is a way for you to deepen the experience of these mindfulness practices and start to directly apply them to specific issues that you face in the workforce, but especially to remove those blocks that are preventing you from reaching your goals. And this also really is good for women who are confused because there's a lot of confusion right now. I mean, heck. So if you are like, I don't know if I should quit, I don't know if I should try to go for the promotion, I don't know if I should try to change companies, I don't know if I should try to change careers altogether and go into something else entirely, or do I go and hang up my shingle and try to, be a coach or do whatever? If you're in that place of confusion and you just don't know where the next step of your career is supposed to go, this group coaching is for you. So we'll be using all these kinds of techniques, kriyas, mindfulness techniques, breathing, stories, all of the things to help you create, first of all, to deal with the burnout because that's real, and then to create your path for what's going to be your next step. So that's what the group coaching is all about, and I would love to have you join. So get in touch if you have any questions. You can always direct message me, and I'd be happy to tell you more about it. So thank you for watching, and may the balance of compassion and fierceness be in the rest of your day uh, with Durga present for you. And I'll see you again the first Monday of October, which is the 6th, October 6th. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching, everybody.